There's no question about it. Google have been absolutely killing it on the AI front. We know they stumbled a bit with Bard trying to play catch up with ChatGPT and OpenAI and all the rest. But right now, it's Google who are delivering the top level AI releases on a regular basis. And the recent Google I/O just topped it off with a load of massive AI announcements from Google. I tell you what, they're absolutely killing it. We're going to take a look at Google I/O and more importantly, how I featured, a video from this very channel featured in Google I/O, sort of. More on that later. But anyway, let's take a look at the Google I/O and all the massive announcements that Google made. So Google have their Google I/O, where often, you expect these big announcements. But even Sundar Pichai said that they're not even waiting for things like Google I/O to release stuff, because they've been releasing a ton of stuff before that, because they're more interested in getting these updates and stuff out to people rather than holding on to them for these big announcements. However, that said, there were some major announcements at Google I/O. And as I said, one of my videos featured in the opening presentation. Can you believe it? Look, sure, it's a blink and you'll miss it moment, but check this out. There I am. Screen left on the presentation screen. Now, it wasn't a total surprise. Oh, well, it kind of was, because I was contacted by a company representing Google. First, I thought it was a bit of a scam, but I did my research and I realized they were legit. And then when they sent me the paperwork through for the release form, me being, a former media lawyer, I know my way around a contract, and I kind of thought, no, this is legit. Wow. I'm more than happy for them to show me as part of a montage, but I didn't expect to be featured front and center. So there you go. Pleasant surprise. Anyway, you've not come here to see me talk about my own videos appearing at Google I/O, although I was blown away by it. So obviously there was an absolute ton of content, some of which was absolutely mind-blowing, including a subscription level at eye-watering amounts of money. And no, I'm not subscribing at that level, but actually there's a lot of value in that, and we'll come to that later. So here we are. I've just put in here your basic, give me a breakdown of each of the major announcements from Google I/O. And then I gave them the quick summary version that Google released. So here we are. Google Gemini 2.5 Pro. Google's touting this as their smartest AI model with big improvements in the general intelligence and learning. It can even understand and modify code based on images. Now, I recently did some code vibing and I tried that out, and I did an absolutely abysmal sketch to help me with just a very simple web application I wanted for when I'm doing live broadcasts. I'll be releasing that video later, but I'll just show you the sketch and then I'll show you the sort of the outcome and the result and everything, and you'll see what I mean. So as you can see here, this is the sketch. Really, really terrible. I'd already done some code using Google that just kind of made an image appear when I clicked on it. Nothing like amazing, but I just wanted it in a carousel form. So I drew this rough picture, told Google to create a carousel type thing with the image coming forward. And anyway, those are the results. Anyway, so back to the announcements.
2.5 Pro is our most intelligent model ever. And now that it incorporates LearnLM, our family of models built with educational experts, 2.5 Pro is also the leading model for learning.
I got 2.5 Pro to code me a simple web app.
So this is interesting because her web app was very similar to mine, except hers is in 3D. But as you can see, she has a very similar awful sketch. And then you'll see, she's just sketched it out and told Google to adapt the code that she'd already had written to do this, and we'll see the results.
Someone comes to you with a brilliant idea. I'm going to add in a prompt that asks 2.5 Pro to update my code based on the image. And here's what Gemini generates.
And look at that.
Whoa.
So as you can see, and they've also, so this is basically all can be achieved from Google 2.5 Pro, which is now available. You can see it's in the preview here. So they've still got the Flash, which is your super fast version. And then the Pro, which is good for reasoning, maths and code. There's also a deep thinking mode that they're introducing. So this is a new mode for Gemini 2.5 Pro that uses advanced research in thinking and reasoning.
By introducing a new mode we're calling Deep Think. DeepThink uses our latest cutting-edge research in thinking and reasoning, including parallel techniques.
So basically what Demis is talking about there is that rather than rush out with an instant response, which is what we're kind of used to with large language models, we put in a prompt and then it sort of rushes out an answer and we go, yay. This basically thinks longer. And that's why it's called DeepThink. And it thinks about the answer. It looks at the prompt and the answer and the response from different perspectives and different angles, and then considers it, and then eventually gives you its answer. So you get a kind of much more thorough, well thought out response to a prompt rather than a kind of instant prompt. So hopefully you'll have more detail and more accuracy. The other thing they talked about was Google Beam.
Introducing Google Beam, a new AI-first video communications platform. Beam uses a new state-of-the-art video model to transform 2D video streams into a realistic 3D experience.
So they talked about these things before and they demonstrated before in a previous Google announcement. It's like having a Zoom meeting or a Google Meet meeting, and instead of a sort of a flat image, it kind of creates you in a kind of a more of a 3D image. So it feels like you're actually talking to a person in front of you in meetings and stuff like that. Well, they've changed the name of it to this Google Beam.
Into a realistic 3D experience.
And then the idea is that it feels that you're actually in the room with the person you're talking to. So if you're having those distant communications. Now, one of the reasons you might want to be talking to somebody, over the internet is because they're far away and maybe in another country. So it also has instant translations.
Using this real-time speech translation directly in Google Meet.
Hi, Camilla. Let me turn on speech translation. It's nice to finally talk to you.
Es bueno hablarte finalmente. No puedo esperar a alquilar tu casa.
Te vas a divertir mucho y creo que te va a encantar.
You're going to have a lot of fun, and I think you're going to love visiting the city. The house is in a very nice neighborhood and overlooks the mountains.
So basically, you can have this conversation back and forth in different languages, and the AI automatically translates it. Now, not only that in Google Beam, but it's actually already built into Google Meet. I don't really use Google Meet. I'm kind of more of a Zoom person. I don't know that many people that use Google Meet. It's weird because I think it's quite good. So the next big announcement they made was Project Mariner and Agent Mode. So this is an AI agent designed to interact with the web to get things done for you. And these are not all available now. They're beginning to be available in the higher subscription level, which I mentioned and I'll come to later. And basically, they're building these agent-like capabilities into Chrome search and the Gemini app. So basically, it will go off and do stuff for you.
Our research prototype, Project Mariner. It's an agent that can interact.
They talked about Project Mariner before, but they're just a bit more advanced down the line on this one.
With the web and get stuff done. We released it as an early research prototype in December, and we have made a lot of progress since. And we are starting to bring agentic capabilities to Chrome, Search, and the Gemini app. Let me show you what we are excited about. We call it Agent Mode. Say you want to find an apartment for you and 2 roommates in Austin. You've each got a budget of $1,200 a month. You want a washer dryer or at least a laundromat nearby. Using Agent Mode, the Gemini app goes to work behind the scenes. You might be familiar with our AI-powered smart reply features. Now imagine if those responses could sound like you. That's the idea behind personalized smart replies. With your permission, Gemini models can use relevant context across your Google apps in a way that is private, transparent, and fully under your control.
So the basic principle is that you have these AI agents that use your Google applications to kind of do things for you. Actually, interestingly enough, I saw an interview with Sam Altman from OpenAI talking about how it's about alleviating some of those sort of simple tasks from your life or having an agent do it for you. Like making phone calls to book things or, just arrange things for you. Having a little kind of an assistant that will do it all for you. That's the kind of where AI can actually add value to your life and it free you up a bit. And I think that's the philosophy of a lot of these people who are running AI companies. So then also talked about Gemini Flash.
Gemini Flash is our most efficient workhorse model. The new Flash is better in nearly every dimension, improving across key benchmarks for reasoning, code, and long context. Flash will be generally available in early June, with Pro soon after.
So if we have a look now, Pro is in preview mode, and then the Flash is going to be updated. But Flash is for your everyday use, and obviously uses less tokens and stuff like that, and it sells super powerful. If I have a look at my earlier chats, so you'll see here in Flash, I actually did it on my phone. Actually, this was interesting. I uploaded this picture here of me looking interestingly meaningful in deep thought. Anyway, I uploaded it and I thought, oh, can you just turn this picture into a GTA style image? So I was trying to do what you can do on ChatGPT. And the weird thing is, it came up here and says, I can definitely do that for you. I'll generate a GTA style image based on the picture you sent. Great. And then it created some code. Here's the image. I've created an HTML page with a button. When you click generate GTA image, it will use the provided image description to create a new image in a GTA style. So it didn't just create the image, it created this, look, all this code. And then if I click on this button, and it's different every time. There's your GTA image, because I did one earlier. That's interesting. So here's the original image. What's this? Add Gemini features. Dialogue generator. I've added a new feature to the app that uses... Now you can generate GTA when a new button appeared, character bio. And the app will use LM to sort of create. Okay. So all I asked, this is really interesting. So I've gone off on a tangent here. I never asked it to create a GTA style image. Here we are. Generate the bio. Again, based on me-ish. Overlooking a river. Razor Ray. This is Razor Ray, apparently. It ain't your average scenic lookout kind of guy, despite this postcard perfect backdrop suggests. That bold ahead ain't from choice. It's a canvas where a lifetime of bad decisions and close shaves got etched. He's a grinder, a fixer, a collector, mostly of debts, occasionally of valuable goods. The beard hides the scars he doesn't want to talk about, and those sunglasses... They're there to stop you from seeing the cold, calculating simmering behind these eyes. He came up hard, scraped his way out of Liberty City sewer rat race and landed in San Andreas looking for a clean slate. Only problem is, Ray never really got the hang of clean. He promises discretion, but his loyalty buys cheap, leaving a trail of bodies and broken promises in his wake. Keep your distance unless you got something he wants. Catchphrase. Everyone pays their dues, one way or another. Yeah, that is so cool. Anyway, the point is, I was just lying in bed and I was just sort of trying out Gemini Flash on my phone. And instead of creating an image like I just wanted to do like a Ghibli style, like everybody does on ChatGPT with a, please turn this into a Ghibli style image. And it does it. No, not Gemini Flash. It creates a whole new code and an app that generates an infinite number of images based on this. The concept of this, and now adds a bio every time you create it. I mean, that is not what I wanted. Anyway, as I said, there was another one I did. I just wanted to check because we'll come to it later, but the image generation is so much better now. So again, this was done using 2.5 Pro. Maybe I should have used Pro on that other one. Create an image of a cute cartoon Godzilla wearing a Liverpool football shirt with speech bubble that says champions. Champions. Championi. Anyway, and here we go. And you can see here, okay, it's got two little tags on the bubble. That's an error. But look, its spelling is so much better. Champions, he says champions. Standard Charter is Standard Charter. But the shirt sort of looks about right. And there we go. So I was just testing out. Again, lying in bed, bored. I just wanted to test the feature out, to see whether the spelling and everything was cool, and there you go. So Gemini Flash, super efficient, very good. So Project Astra, this is the bit where I featured.
Into a universal AI assistant. In Project Astra, we've upgraded voice output to be more...
So I did a video all about Project Astra, and when they released it on the phone and stuff like that, I did an example, me sort of testing it out with a few things. There I am. Blink and you'll miss it. Yeah. So, wow, one of my videos from this AI channel, if you're not already subscribed, I mean, Google is subscribed. I don't know if they are. Gemini is subscribed. Sundar Pichai is subscribed to my channel. I don't know, probably not. But anyway, if you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button, toggle that notification bell, and that way you'll know when the world famous AI News Daily goes live with videos. Why not? Anyway, so they talked about improved voice output, improved memory, added computer control and stuff like that. The example they showed was really, really cool in terms of, this guy repairing his bike and all of that.
For example, we've upgraded voice output to be more natural with native audio. We've improved memory and added computer control. Let's take a look.
I'm here with the latest research prototype of Project Astra, and we're going to see how it can help me fix my bike. Hey, go online and look for a user's manual for a Huffy mountain bike.
I have found a user manual for you. What would you like to know about it?
Okay, cool. Now scroll until you find the section about the brakes.
Sure thing. Looking for that page now.
I think I stripped this screw. Can you go on YouTube and find a video for how to fix that?
Of course. I'm opening YouTube now. This looks like a good video.
Place a rubber band over the head of the screw.
Oh, nice.
Press down firmly.
Can you go through my emails with the bike shop and find which size hex nut I need?
Sure. According to the email from Bicycle Habitat, you need a 3/8" hex nut for your sprocket. I've highlighted the correct bin for you.
The other thing they talked about is introducing AI into search. Again, this is rolling out in the US today. These things tend to be rolling out US first. So, yeah. But basically, as we've already seen, we get AI summaries, which I find quite useful when you do a Google search and stuff like that. But this is going to give you much deeper analysis. And there's a button specifically that you can click when you do your search. I mean, obviously, search is Google's bread and butter. So they want you to still be in search. And then, of course, they have the power of everything that drives search, mix that in with AI. And yeah, it's a very powerful tool. Then they also talked about AI shopping, which is quite fun. You can try things on.
With AI mode, we are bringing a new level of intelligence to help you shop with Google. Search dynamically generates a browsable mosaic of images and some shoppable products personalized just for me. To create a try-on experience that works at scale, we need a deep understanding of the human body and how clothing looks on it. Wow.
And there we go. So you could basically say, what am I going to look like in this outfit? And it generates it, understanding body shapes and how material and cloth kind of sits on a body and stuff like that to give you a realistic kind of idea of what it might look like. I mean, the power of this application, you can imagine these in, even in shops on large screens, can't you? And it's not just sort of photoshopping your head on top of the, body of a model. It's fitting the clothes to your body shape. If you have a full length picture of yourself, it's fitting that image and those clothes to that body shape. So it'll give you a much more realistic idea of what the clothes are going to look like. I mean, especially if you're online shopping and, again, shopping through Google searches and stuff is absolutely crucial and, to Google's bottom line. So this is another really powerful tool in their arsenal.
We're bringing our latest and most capable image generation model into the Gemini app. It's called Imagen 4.
So Imagen 4,
richer, with more nuanced colors and fine-grained details.
Create an image of a detailed and professionally shot photo of a beautiful Japanese woman in purple dress walking through an avenue of blossom trees. Okay, there we are. Let's see what it does. Again, slow thinking. I mean, it's quite good, but I've seen better.
It's called Imagen 4.
Yeah, Imagen 4. So we're not quite on Imagen 4 yet. Yeah, so we haven't. That's why we're still on Imagen 3. So we've still got to wait for Imagen 4. That's why it's not particularly brilliant image, because it's not quite available yet. The other thing that they did, and this is really mind blowing though, and talking of generating media and stuff like that, let's have a look at where we are with VO. They're on VO2, is VO3. VO3 is their video generating system, and it is mind-blowing.
The visual quality is even better. Its understanding of physics is stronger. But here's the leap forward. VO3 comes with native audio generation. That means that VO3 can generate sound effects, background sounds, and dialogue. Now you prompt it, and your characters can speak. Here's a wise old owl and a nervous young badger in the forest. Take a listen.
They left behind a ball today. It bounced higher than I can jump.
What manner of magic is that?
I mean, that's just generated from a prompt. And you've got dialogue and everything in there. I mean, it's unbelievable. This is a brilliant one here as well. Check this out.
Force, a wild, untamed might. And she commands your awe with every breaking light.
They're not, super long clips, but the fact that you can generate sound and dialogue. Check this one out. Again, the sound of the paper there, again, it's my definition if it doesn't look very good. As you can see, I mean, VO3, our new state-of-the-art generation model, I mean, this is the stuff that it's generating. It's all, like all these things, it's all about the prompt, but scarily good. Can we get Flow now? Create with Flow. Not available yet. But Flow is another thing that we'll touch on, which they talked about. So Flow is basically an AI filmmaking tool where you can create lots of little scenes, like using VO3.
Based on our collaboration with the creative community, we've been building a new AI filmmaking
It's a bit like Runway Media.
We're calling it Flow, and it's launching today. Let me show you how it works. These are my ingredients: the old man and his car. We make it easy to upload your own images into the tool. It lets you extend a clip too, so I can get the perfect ending that I've been working towards.
So basically what they're talking about there is like a bit like Runway Media, but you can basically, all the tools are based in one, and you can create little videos, little movies with different scenes and clips, and you can extend the clips. You can cut to, you can zoom in, zoom out of the clips, give sort of camera instructions and stuff like that, all within Flow. Now, Flow, as I say, is not currently available in this country, so I can't test it out. But equally, it's also part of the new subscription models they've got, which I'll come to later. And finally, they also talked about Android XR, Google's platform for immersive experiences. So these are for VR headsets and AR glasses, hence XR. It's a platform for VR, and it's going to be part of Samsung's new fully immersive VR headset, which is their kind of version of the Vision Pro, Samsung's Vision Pro, plus glasses, which they demonstrated on screen, and they'll be announcing partnerships with Gentle Monster and Warby Parker. So there we are. Hopefully that's a little quick rundown of all things at Google I/O. There was so much more and so much more depth. Loads of big announcements, obviously. But of course, the biggest highlight, me being in the presentation. I cannot believe it. Anyway, it's just a little thing. Just tickled my fancy, as it were. I hope you found this interesting. I hope you found it useful. If you did, then please hit the likes, because I like it. YouTube likes it. And it helps people like you find content just like this. And of course, if you're new to my channel, then do me the great honor, please hit that subscribe button, toggle that notification bell, and that way you'll know when I upload videos just like this. Talking of videos just like this, why don't you check out the videos here? These ones here. Thanks for watching.